Hello my lovely viewer, I am back once again, with police cult comedy science fiction film called Sexmission. Watch the full video to find out the interesting part and take care. The first human hibernation experiment began in 1991, when two ordinary people, Max Paradis and Albert Starsky, agreed to participate. Max was looking for adventure in his life, and Albert was a biologist, whose aim was to become famous. Max and Albert have finally been put in the pods as the world watches in anticipation. The hibernation is scheduled to last for 3 years. However, instead of being awakened 3 years later in 1994, the pod wakes up in 2044. It's been 53 years in the pod, yet they haven't aged an inch. As everyone knows, when the two woke up, they believed that they were following in a facility check after their hibernation. They are very happy because they expect their bravery to be fame and fortune. As they were taken care of by women, the facility detained them for several days. As time passes, the two began to wonder why they never see man since then. They woke up. One of their caregivers is named Lamia Renault. She watched the two closely through the camera and watches them all day. On the third day, they explicitly asks to see Professor Kupelweiser. But from Lamia and Dr. Bernard, I learned that Kupelweiser did not exist. They explained to the guys that a nuclear war broke out a few years ago that caused all the males in the world are going to be extinct. The current date is March 8, 2044, which means these people are 86 years old. Max and Albert refuses to believe this and believe that they were being tested. They also realize that the room they lives in had no windows and tries to leave, pushing the door and entering. It was an electric shock. At night, the men felt distressed and confused. Lamia sensed their confusion and talks to them through the microphone installed on them room. She reveals that their society reproduces without males through a process called parthenogenesis. Women takes compulsory drugs to suppress their sexual drive, so there is no need men. While watching TV, Max sees a woman often walking around naked because the absence of the man. He wants to take advantage of their situation and associate with as many women as possible because there are no male competitors. Therefore, in a briefing, Max kisses Lamia to test the waters. She angrily accused him of sexual assault and easily knocks him down. A few days later, Max and Albert were summoned by the female supreme leader. They are now taken to a biological reserve, where animals and trees from the post-war period were preserved. At the meeting, they asks what happened to mankind and how mankind became extinct. The female explains that the extinction is the male's own fault. During the war, Dr. Kupelweiser invented a potion called the M-bomb. The bomb should temporarily paralyze the male genes he plans to use as a biological weapon, but due to negligence, it permanently destroyed the male gene, leading to extinction male species. Max proposes to be a breeder to restore the male population and change society how it is. However, women do not want the old order to return because they are taught that in the past, people intimidated and enslaves them. After the meeting, the guys were taken back to the confinement room, but Lamia couldn't figure it out how Max disappeared from her mind. The kiss brings her enthusiasm for drug suppression to the surface again. Because of her inner feelings, she continues to look for the oldest living woman before the war. She could say anything about men. She found Julia, 74, and showed her a video of Max and Albert taking a bath. Seeing the nakedness of the men reminded Julia of her fiancé. In her opinion, the gender world should be restored. After the meeting, Lamia leaves from there with a new way of looking at life. At the same time, as Max and Albert continued to be imprisoned, they became more and more painful. Albert sees the wires on the floor of their room and make a plan to escape by destroying the floor power grid. They put the plan into action the next day, and it was easy to succeed. While running around, they finally come to a room where they were teaching little girls how to learn if they have ever been in contact with them, interact with them. Soon, these guys were caught and locked up again. After the commotion, the women are furious, but they still give Max and Albert a chance. Come to redeem yourself. They want men to undergo sex reassignment surgery and become women to be accepted in society. When they refused, the ceiling above the room opens up, revealing a large group of women who it is to determine their fate. The hearing starts and lasts for a long time, because the rally accuses men of oppression, almost all evils and sins, and praises their new society. They even claims the greatest scientists such as Copernicus, Einstein and Pincus, in fact, they are women. When Max and Albert are taken away, the parliament will vote to decide whether these people should be coerced, naturalized, or liquidated. Lamia thinks she should have a say in this matter because she is digging hibernation cabin and found them. However, a vote is taken and the naturalization is passed by only one vote. As the discussion progresses, these people runs away again, wandering in the facility and getting lost every few minutes. All the women they meet before have never seen a man, so they mistake these two for compatriots, sisters. Max is distracted by the naked girl swimming in the aquarium on the road. After that, the man escapes from an abandoned slide, and finds a group of women singing, dancing and are having fun. Some of them are also engaged in lesbian relationships that fascinate Max. Instead, Max and Albert are handed over to an old doctor named Yanda. She decided to extract the organs of these people for transplantation, and their remains due to the increasing shortage of protein, it will be tested whether it may be used as a food source. When Max is lying on the hospital bed, he discovers that Yanda is actually his daughter. Now hate him because he abandoned her mother when she was very young. Lamia is tied to a hospital bed in preparation for surgery. Come and help them. She helps them escape in retaliation against the officials who took the men away. Shortly after escaping, Albert passed out due to anesthetics in the elevator to him. When Lamia tries to resurrect him, he dreamed that he was in 1994 and the process of hibernation completed successfully. When he recovered, they rushes into the periscope room, ready to escape to the surface, despite the radiation. The guards claim they don't know the code necessary for Lamia to activate the capsule, but she threatens them to give it to her. Meanwhile, Max and Albert rapidly change into protective suits. When the guards claim that Her Excellency is the only one with the password, Max becomes enraged, saying, "Your mother's a whore," and the capsule is activated. The three think they are about to be caught. They climb through the hole and are utterly shocked to find themselves on the beach. He takes a knife and cuts through the fabric of the barrier, revealing daylight on the other side. A tent-like structure surrounded the area visible through the periscope, along with a panorama of the barren landscape on the inside. The guys are thrilled to finally get a glimpse of their old lives. After taking off their suits, they are sprayed with fresh oxygen. A while later, they come across a fully furnished cozy villa full of fresh food and modern technology. They are confused about who it belongs to but do not question the matter further. The next day, Lamia's co-worker Emma comes into the facility wearing a suit. The three are out looking for them. Because there is only one suit left, the others wished her luck and stayed back. Furthermore, she discovers that the world outside is totally different than what she had imagined. When she finds Lamia, Max, and Albert eating in the garden, she points her weapon at them. However, she faints from lack of oxygen. He removes her helmet and performs CPR on her. She is carried into the villa and her suit is removed. She quickly regains consciousness and feels attracted towards Albert. Max, on the other side, takes Lamia to a bedroom and explains mating to her. At long end, both spouses engage in sexual activity. Later, the women are bathing, while the males relax in the living room. Max and Albert hear a disturbance and flee, believing it is the house's owner. Her Excellency emerges from an elevator hidden within a closet a few moments later. Max lashes out at her, demanding explanations. Her Excellency's breasts and hair are stripped during the ensuing fight, exposing that she is a woman. He is, in fact, a man in disguise. Her Excellency finally informs the guys about his life, which takes place shortly after the war. He was 4 years old when the League of Women came to power. The few boys who remained were naturalized. His mother kept him concealed since he was interested in girls. To appear more feminine, he joined the League and was eventually elected Her Excellency. To keep the women confined and under his control, he increased the radiation level. Max and Albert strike a bargain with Her Excellencies, claiming that if they are permitted to stay in the house with Lamia and Emma, they will not expose his true identity. The proposition is accepted by Her Excellency. In the next scene, Max and Albert are dressed as laboratory personnel in the facility's incubation room. Employees in a laboratory disguised as a room. In order to re-establish male sex, they put male gametes to incubation flasks. When the infants are fully mature, it will be several months later. When a nurse sees a male infant, she is horrified. Subscribe for more videos like this, switch on notifications, and leave a like to support the channel. And, thank you for hanging out.